This is one more thing you do to make money, right?
Yeah, I don't even make money. I just do it for myself. I mean, I did do these field trucks for a while, you know, but I just passed that job on to somebody else. I just like, you know, I did my car and my bikes and do things for my friends.
But you have no idea how often I've thought of you like, I should ask Rick to do this. But I never, you know, I don't like asking for anything.
You know, you got your stickers now.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, so it's just a transfer. Tape off both sides, one on each side. Get it level where you want it. Tape it down the middle. Just tear it. Tear it where the tape mark goes across. Peel it back. Peel this, cut it, and then line this up with the torn tape, so you know where it lines up. And then slip this side down. Then do the same thing the other side, and then peel this off. Line it up with the two sides, the tape sides, and then.
All right.
Pretty simple.
Thank you, man. Yep. That is a bit of a gamble, right? I mean, on one hand, you're exposing more people to what you're doing. Hey, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook and all that. On the other hand, you've seen me when I'm driving around town. I can be pretty like vocal and in your face. So who knows? This might make life a little more interesting, and not necessarily a positive way, but maybe still a fun way. Thanks, Rick. Hey, how's it going? I was just going to talk about the van while it's warming up here. I got to run some errands this morning. It's a Sunday morning. I drove down to the marina yesterday to see Rick off. He probably left already this morning. And I already posted the video of his van, so you probably have seen that already. Actually, while I was there, he plotted me out some stickers for the van. They say Astro Van Tribe. I'm going to put them, it's got the icons for Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. So I'll put them on the van here. I might include a clip of him cutting that up. But it's the first time on the highway since the new PCV valve and the PCV valve cap and whatever else I did. I've been doing a lot lately. And I got it at highway speed. The thing is it was a Saturday morning in Los Angeles, and so there's a lot of people on the highway. It's hard to get it at speed and maintain that speed and really be able to get a good reading on real-time MPGs. But they're up. So yeah, I think that it's amazing that starving your engine from being able to breathe, how it affects everything else. I never would have expected that, but I don't know, because I'm not a mechanic. I keep telling you that. I don't know why you're here anymore. the off-color little innuendo jokes, maybe? Is that what was hooking you? But you know, I discovered this really bizarre thing with the MPGs. Like between like 54 miles an hour to like 65 miles an hour, my foot's on the gas, just maintaining a speed in that range, and the MPGs were off the charts. I'd never seen it like that before. It was like 30 miles per gallon, which I know a lot of people won't believe. Keep in mind, it's, you know, 410 gears, 32-inch tires. Things have been done. When you give it gas, you know, they drop, obviously, like any vehicle. It's more about getting to a speed and maintaining that. A couple times I was able to get over 75 to 80 and hold it there, and it was like 14, 15 MPGs. So, you know, I'm not going to count on any of that at the moment. My next big road trip, I'll really be able to tell what's happening. So hopefully that'll happen soon. And I just wanted to mention that to you. But then I got a package in the mail. So I got some stuff. I picked one of these up. It's a CB, handheld CB. It's got a magnetic thing for your roof to attach one of the antennas so you get better reception. And I just thought this would be a smart thing to have in the van for long distance road trips. I've been in many situations on a highway where traffic is just stopped. You don't know what's going on. It'd be nice to be able to talk to somebody up ahead of the line and figure out what's up, because maybe I can get out of that situation, save some time. It might even save your life somehow. Maybe you're stuck somewhere. You only get about 2-mile distance with this thing, probably, depending on where you're at. I can always get on the roof with this, which would help. So, and there's other little tricks you could do. So I'm just throwing that out there. I'll have that in the van. And I splurged. I was on the fence with this because the pictures on Amazon, where I was mainly looking, it always made it seem larger to me. And that's why I was like, that thing looks huge. So I'm always hearing that from women, you know? Until you really get to handling it, then they're like, oh, I can take care of that. I can handle that. So this is the ratchet, right? The Makita ratchet. This is 18 volt. I've got 2 amp hour. I think I got a 4 and a bunch of 5s that'll work on this. But it just, you're looking at it in pictures, and they're showing you this close up of the head here, and there's nothing else in the image really for a comparison. So it always just seemed huge. It's got a little work light on it, and I'm excited to use this in the truck. I see now how I could have done a lot of the work, removing the ICM and all that with this. It would have been a huge time saver, and it could clearly get in and reach. So I'm excited about adding this to my kit. Yeah. You know what? Just thought of something with this CB radio. Let's do a little. Let's have a little chat and a little story time here while I'm using the force to drive down this super narrow driveway where I literally have 2 inches of space at my tires because there's a curb over here and curbs on this side, and I have to fold that mirror in to clear other things on the building here. It's crazy. I had a friend in junior high, Mike. He became a cop. This was in Patterson, New Jersey. Patterson's a tough town. And Mike had a CB radio. Okay. And we would get on that radio and just, you know, talk to whoever was on the other end. It was fun. Where they're at, what's going on, people screwing with you, you're just kids. And there was this, I see you, I won't run you over. You guys, you're missing out on that one. I'd like to kiss whoever invented yoga pants right on the mouth. Anyhow, even if it's a dude, it's okay. He would deserve it. So, as I was saying, we'd be at Mike's house on the CB radio, and there's this one time, it was just so funny. I'm talking to some dude, and he's talking to me like I'm a girl. He thinks I'm a girl. Well, my voice hadn't changed yet. Not that it's some deep booming, you know, James Earl Jones voice now. I do have that weird tone to my voice. When I'm around a bunch of people tend to want to talk right over me. That's why I like this, because you can't stop me. Nah, 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 nah. So it was just a funny moment where the guy thought I was a girl. I'm telling him I'm a guy, and he's not believing me, and it's been like this. I'm actually very happy that Mike doesn't bring this up when we talk anymore, because it was, at the time, I was like crushed by it to a certain degree. Really needed my voice to change. And then I remember, you know, my parents separated, divorced. I got to choose. I chose to go with my dad, which meant I ended up living alone, and I didn't know that was going to happen. So 9th grade, I was up in New York living in this apartment, and then I failed like 5 subjects. It's a long freaking story. It has nothing to do with CBs. But eventually, 10th grade, I ended up down the shore at the Jersey Shore again, which I consider my hometown. That's where I lived after I was born. My dad had a business there. I spent my early years there, back and forth every summer, and then moved there, lived alone in 10th grade. And then I had a CB radio, and I was talking on the radio in the summertime before I went to school. And I met some girl on the radio, and she was very, you know, flirty and whatnot, and we started talking, and we exchanged phone numbers. I think we did that over the open air, probably something you shouldn't do. And then we started talking on the phone, and she had described herself, you know, being super hot, wearing shorts with her ass hanging out and everything else. We were talking some pretty, you know, sexual stuff. We were just, boom, out there. It was titillating. You know, you're a young kid, you're all alone, you're having these pretty wild conversations, and all because of the CB radio. I met a bunch of people on the island. that summer working on the boardwalk, and I made friends with this other girl. My buddy was dating her, and here I am. I go to school, and I'm in homeroom one day, and this girl Eileen, she goes, "Hey Mike," she's in the doorway. She goes, "This is so and so." I'm not going to use her names. I don't want to embarrass her, but she goes, "This is so and so," and this girl steps into the doorway of my homeroom, and she ate up more than the doorway. She was gigantic. She was huge. It looked like she had to turn sideways to get in through the door. I was mortified. It was embarrassing. And I'm not fat shaming anybody or anything. I was a kid, and that was just the times, you know. Now, you can weigh 300 pounds and wear a bikini, and the world's trying to convince you to accept the fact that that's beauty. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I don't know what to tell you about that one. That's a little kooky for me. I think your true beauty comes from within, and I don't really care too much about the size of somebody, but you can't walk around the planet believing you're all that and you're 100 pounds overweight and expect people to be sexually attracted to you. That's crazy. Some people are, and that's fine. There's somebody for everybody. I'm not trying to knock it. I'm just saying that's a nutty thing to be like, yeah, I'm Jabba the Hutt eating bonbons by the pound, and you know, with layers of. I knew a girl, well, a bunch of girls. I've known a lot of girls in my day. We used to party with. I went out with this girl in high school. She had older sisters. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I came home and we all started hanging out together. And we used to hang out at my pad. Me and my buddy George were rooming together with this apartment. And one night we sat up telling gross stories, like what was the grossest thing you ever experienced or had heard. And one of them had been friends with a doctor, and the story that he told her was he had this overweight patient, you know, well over 100 pounds overweight, and she'd come in once a year or so for a physical, and he would have to, you know, lift up the folds of fat to get the stethoscope underneath the fat so he can actually hear her heartbeat. And he did that. She came in, he did that, and he lifted the fat up, and he found like this little set part of a sandwich that was all fermented. It had probably been in there for weeks. It was all moldy and gross and fermented. So I think that's a pretty good gross joke, you know. Not a joke, but a gross story. And I mean, I don't know, man. I think if you roll over and you find a piece of sandwich in your fat rolls that's been there for a few weeks, maybe that's like a hint. Like that should be like a little wake-up call. Maybe you should eat a friggin' salad once in a while. You know, not like a garbage bag full of salad, but a small one. Maybe not eat for like a few weeks and just live off of that for a while. I don't know what you would have to do if you're already at that point, but my God. If I look down and I can't see my, you know, I'm like, I gotta lose some weight. Like, you would think that's never happened to me. I'd have to be pretty big for that to happen. But I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just having a good time. It's a Sunday morning, so there's no one for me to yell at yet on the road. I was talking to George the other day on the phone, and he's like, I would just watch you drive around LA for your expressions when you're pissed off at people on the road. Which happens 99% of the time when I get in this thing, just because of the nature of where I live and I got to drive around. But anyhow, I'm going to insert this little clip of Rick doing these transfers for me and putting them on the peel off back and everything and cutting them up. And I'll put this video up for you guys. Hope you get a kick out of it, and you see what I'm doing. That whole thing with the CB radio, and I got the Lifesaver jerry can, and what I'm doing is as I can every couple weeks, if I got a couple extra bucks, I'm splurging a little on gear for the van, separate of repairs and parts, because I'm getting this thing ready. You know, eventually I'm going to solve everything. No engine light. No misfires, doesn't feel like any misfire. I still get a little vibration in this thing. Not sure what that is. I'm leaning now more towards just being the engine brackets or engine mounts where I use the polyurethane bushings. I'm going to rebuild another set of those with rubber, and then I got to get Dave to hook me up with this. I mean, we did the engine lift brackets, but as we all know, one of them, they didn't come back correct from the CNC. That was his fault in his program, and so he quickly made that one for me, and it looks like it's off. So the engine leans a little bit. It's not the end of the world. But I think that my vibration has more to do with those two things at this point. I don't, at this point, think it's mechanical anymore. But who knows? I could be wrong. We'll see. You know, I'm going to keep doing little things. I'm going to keep sharing it with you guys. And you guys know what happens as I discover what's happening. Not keeping anything from you. So, all right. Let's pull in here. I'm going to run to the 99-cent store and get a few things. And I'm going to run over to the Fairfax swap meet. Now, listen. Just revved it. And we're good. There's a little vibration there. But I'm not getting that engine rock thing that was happening when I had the misfire. So that's all good. There was a couple times driving on the highway after I did some things. Like when I was coming home on Christmas Day, I threw the code. And then after I did the ICM and everything, I got on the highway, went out to the valley to see my buddy Chad, and threw the code again, you know, after I'd reset it. So, but I was still having that misfire feeling, that heavy vibration thing going on. And since fixing the PCV valve, like I said in the beginning of this, so far so good. And even in town, the MPGs when I'm cruising on side streets, much higher than they were. So we'll see how it goes, man. You know, I think I really need to take this on a good long drive for the computer to run its cycle several times as you're driving distance, because it kind of auto tunes in a way. I don't know if that's the correct way of putting it, but anyhow, that's it for now. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Oh, and thanks everybody for being here. I keep trying to cut this video off like I always do, but then I keep adding more crap. My brain doesn't stop. Been getting really nice comments from people that they like. They're calling it a show. Like, this is a show. You get a kick out of that. Pole Barn Garage. Watch that guy. That dude is funny. I mean, he puts long videos out. He's got a son that's like 11, 12 years old. He's teaching this kid everything. This guy goes out and buys junkers, and just amazing what he does. But I just love listening to him. He's hysterical. And I'll probably recommend a few more other channels for you to check out as time goes. But I'm finally turning this video off so you can stop. You don't have to worry about staring at this thing anymore right now for today anyhow. Bye.